Uh, Before we come to the end of this very, very busy and exciting day, we cannot let Mr. Nadar go without addressing us and without talking to us. I now request Mr. Pradeep Gupta to have a heart-to-heart discussion with him, if that is possible. PG, I'll organize the mics. Can we have the mics, please?
So thank you, Shiv.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So, you had a speech, but then you said that it is good if we have a chat instead of, giving a speech. So,
I looked at the faces of everybody. I think they're all looking exhausted. So I thought the best thing is to have a chat.
so Shiv, you've been Person of the Year of Dataquest in the past and a Lifetime Achievement winner in the past. And we go a long way. I mean, I started my career with you. Uh, and so thank you very much for being here. And, always one looks for your blessings and so on. And perhaps this is a good moment to once again take your blessings.
All the very best, PG. I went and hired him personally in 1977.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And, Arjun was talking about the recruitment night, and I remember we played bridge that night.
We played bridge in Arun's house, right?
In the
HCL guest house.
HCL guest house, the fifth floor, upper Apsara, not upper Apsara building. Yes, that's right.
Who remembers that Apsara name? I'm just not
So, so Shiv, you've known Arjun. I mean, you've been together. So, what do you have to share about Arjun to us and to the audience here?
About Arjun, I have a lot to share, but I don't know whether I want to share it to the audience.
Some interesting stories, some interesting episodes.
When Arjun joined DCM as a management trainee, he was already, as soon as he joined, I think within a month or two, he got married. And I was there a year ahead, no, 2 years ahead. And Arjun decided that maybe I will not meet him. He sounds like a nice guy. So let me not try and form any impression. Then we just met in the normal course of a working day. And the day one when we met, we went to watch a film. And after that, we met every day. And that's pretty much how HCL got formed. It was great company. And in between, I also started dating my wife and got married as well. And starting HCL was great fun. We never thought that HCL had any chance of failing. And we are absolutely certain that it will succeed. And if you look back, in 76, it was possibly the most perfect year to pick, to build anything microprocessor based. You look around the year, that's the time anything between 4-bit to 8-bit microprocessor based systems were built, which is what we did. And we built them, and timing was so perfect. Our advertisement for the product in 1978 and Apple's advertisement for the product in 1978 were within the same week in the newspapers. We kept all of them. It was a full page ad. The price was 1 lakh, somewhere around that. We went through a very successful period, many of them sheer timing. And along with that, we had great fun, building the company. And we, of course, worked in Arjun's grandmother's house. And
The Barsati, where it all started.
Barsati, no, there was also a bedroom. Most people forget that. That was, Arjun and Kiran had 2 bedrooms. And 1 bedroom, we said that that's all you will have. The other bedroom is used for work. And we used to sit down there and work. And there is one of the guys who has come from IIM. Gokul Tandon is one of them. Paul Srivastava was another. Now, these guys are recruiting. Okay. And they would come well clothed with tie and everything, and they're interviewing people. Sitting in the bed. So they would expect that the person who's coming for the interview also is coming there with a tie, with a suit. So the first question which is asked is that, why are you looking nervous? A guy is coming for an interview. There are 2 guys sitting in the bed with full suit, and this guy also has come in a suit, and he's asking me, why are you looking nervous? So that guy said that at the end of it, said, you seem to be having a question which you want to ask us. Please go ahead and ask. So that guy who was asking the question, at least might as well get it out of the question. If it is going to be working only for free, then we said, no, don't worry. You will be paid a salary, and you will be paid 2,000 plus some amount, and be here on time on certain date. And the guys who we chose were all brilliant chaps, very, very good. And we were very courageous, in working at it. Finally, we had promised to ship an 8-bit microprocessor based system, which will work, and service it. And then if they did want, we would also write the application software for that. And
The 8C. The 8C.
Yeah, the 8C. 8C is, and we didn't wait to give it a very good brand name or something. 8 is 8-bit microprocessor, C is commercial. So we just named this 8C, and that was between Gokul and Paul Srivastava. They decided that was a brand name. Okay. And we never spent money in travel and things. We said that if you have to travel, you travel by. Those days there used to be a 3rd class. Was it 3rd class, Arjun? Yeah. There was a 3rd class. And he would go in third class, and you know, is it okay to be seen traveling in third class? Arjun went to Orissa somewhere. And Paul Srivastava also had gone to Orissa somewhere for something. And Paul Srivastava got stoned. He thought that this is Arjun, this is the company director, and he's going to fire me the moment we go back. And Arjun looked at him, he said that, oh my God, this guy has seen me traveling in third class. Now what will he think of the company? Shiv is going to kill me when he go back. So we went back, and Shiv, you're going to be very upset. Paul will be leaving us. He said, Arjun, don't worry. Paul is not leaving. You saw him traveling in third class. It's okay. He was only on his personal travel. So Paul thought that how could he be seen traveling third class? Arjun was worried that how, Paul has seen him traveling third class. And both of them were hiding from each other. You know that famous film, Peter Sellers.
The Party.
Huh? No.
Peter Sellers, it was
Peter Sellers is Pink Panther.
the Pink Panther.
The
Okay.
Pink Panther. It's like two of them just trying to hide each other and running between each other. Paul and Arjun are running away from each other like that. So it was, initial days were just great deal of fun. And we were very courageous. Quite some time later, Neelam joined us, and Neelam was quite certain that we are never going to ship the machines. This entire thing is an imagination. And Neelam, your father was in police, right? Yes, I remember that. So she was walking down, and Raman and I were walking behind them. Raman was the director of technology. Going back behind them, and it was, I wasn't sure whether she should hear what Raman and I were talking. And we were talking that I hope that the demo that we have to do tomorrow is going to work. I wasn't sure that whether it will work. And I didn't want her to hear that. So I overtook them very quickly and then went off. And so earlier years were like this. There was no certainty of tomorrow.
That's true. So, Ritesh mentioned that he wants to become number one in this entire business globally. So what would be, an HCL expanded globally, did very well in the software export business, leadership position and so on. So what would be, 3 words of advice that you would like to give him? That what are some of the things that should be done?
To grow, first is put some numbers on this. How much profit do you want to make? It's profit which is fundamental in a certain defined period. And that if you place that number, then it will start functioning. Sometimes it'll have some nasty surprises, but that's something which you bite your lips and go through with it. That's what I'd like to advise you. Because with any big number also comes a very large number of people. Large number of people means salaries, and if you're successful, there are more salaries, and it's never ending. And just be careful on number of people. Now we have HCL has got 140,000 people, 130,000 people. A global company with 130,000 people is a very tough act. And if you've built it over a very long period of time, it's different. Just like TCS has been built over a very long period of time. HCL started only in 2000.
So profitable,
Profitable
profitability
one, profitable
and
two,
people
profitable three, and cash.
and cash.
Always carry a lot of cash in hand. What I mean cash is, your asset should be cash bound.
So, Shiv, you've been a great, you've done a lot of philanthropy in different sort of areas, in education, in terms of an entire village, in terms of art, in terms of music, and so on. And I don't know whether people sitting in this room are aware of this, but actually Shiv is India's biggest philanthropist. Okay. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, every year it is in hundreds of crores that is the kind of philanthropy.
How was this
that is-
published? How was this audited and published?
Yes.
Last year it was 750 crores.
750 crores of philanthropy. So it is, as I mentioned, he is the India's biggest. So Shiv, what drives you there? And, why different areas? And of course, again, what is the kind of as you were giving advice on a global business, similarly on the philanthropic business, what would be your advice of a few things that one should be
Education.
focusing on?
Truly speaking, education. It's the greatest equalizer, and you can contribute your own time. And it's possibly the lowest cost at which this can be delivered. But that's the reason why
But what drove you to look at this?
it was. What drove me
otherwise
to
people
do that
just go
was a
back.
very simple thing. When we did the Hewlett-Packard deal, we had quite a bit of money in hand. So I was planning to spend it, and my mother said that, maybe you should think in terms of giving away some of this. And I studied in Coimbatore, where people are very generous about the money which they get. If you see, there are many colleges and institutions in Coimbatore are for charity, fully for charity. And the people there are very good that way. And I remembered that also. So I said, let me just build one and see. And that's how we built SSN, which later on now has become a university. It's called Shiv University. There is one Shiv University here also. And it costs a lot, gives very little back. You will have to just find well-minded people, similar-minded people to be in it. And I was lucky in finding some. We also do some schools. Shivnara schools are there. And which are really schools for children of middle class people in Delhi. And the 3 schools that we have, one in Gurgaon, one in Noida, and one in Faridabad, they're top class. They're best in class in the NCR area. And
You also have a school for people below poverty line, you know,
That
the
is a
Bulandshahr.
yeah, that's a very serious effort. That is, we test children. Sundar is here somewhere. Is he here? I don't see him. There is. He is the one who is responsible for selection. We check out now, it's a 10th, is it 10th year now? Is it 10th year?
– 2009, so
Nine, okay, so
yeah.
it's 10th year. It's we test in every, the tests are conducted in every district. And now that the students who are coming and participating, last year we had 250,000 10-year-olds came and participated in them. And it's a hard one, very hard one. Our expectation is that any of the students that we select would be as good as any IAS student. We only choose 300 out of them.
Shiv, I think we can again go on, and I'm sure, you know, we could have spent another hour, and the audience is absolutely engrossed, but I think I'm getting signals again that we need to
Wind up and
wind up.
hand back this place to the hotel.
And therefore, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A big
great
round to
pleasure.
Shiv.
Roshni runs Vidya Gyan.
Yeah, there is Roshni.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nadar and PG, for this very, very engaging conversation. As PG said, we could have, with the wealth of experience and knowledge and perspectives that you have, I think this could have been a 5-hour session, and still we would have been asking for more. So thank you so much.